I'm Joel.
And I'm Donald.
I bet you know what this is. This time of year, we have these being built all over here at Little Creek.
That's right, it's a bird's nest. But what are bird's nests actually used for?
You might be thinking that birds live in their nests, but actually most birds don't live in their nests. Nests are not a home.
They're a nursery. This is where the birds are going to lay their eggs and then take care of their young. We are going to take a look at one of the special nests that we have here at Little Creek.
Here at Little Creek, I can always tell when spring has arrived, not because of the robins or because of the warming temperatures, but because as I walk into my high school classroom, I am greeted by bird droppings. This means our eastern phoebes have come home for the summer. Eastern phoebes are small, grayish-brown birds with a dark-colored head. You tend to see them perched on small stumps or branches. They like to perch on just about anything. Eastern phoebes live in the southern U.S. during the winter, shown by the purple color on this map. But as spring rolls around, they migrate north, arriving in St. Louis right around March 12th. The reason we noticed the eastern phoebes is because they have this habit of building nests where we spend a lot of time. This is the one that they built right over the high school classroom. But there are a bunch more right around our Little Creek Upper Campus as well.
Now that we have this nice tall ladder, I can get this camera up there. We're gonna mount it onto the edge here. That way we can watch the progress of this nest. Yeah.
Okay.
It's loosened.
Phoebes start building their nest by selecting any old ledge, in this case an electrical conduit, and then they use mud as a mortar to build a foundation for their nest. Eventually, they'll start collecting other plant materials which they use to make the nest just right. We decided to have a stakeout to find where they were getting these building materials from. Donald, do you copy?
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
Alright, I'm here at the nest. I'll let you know when they leave. Right now it's empty. There's no one there.
10-4.
They're never gonna see me in my camo. Okay, I just had one fly in. Still up there. I'll let you know when it leaves. Alright, it just left. Flew back behind the high school classroom.
I'm sitting right back here. I just saw it.
As the eastern phoebe flew around that corner, it came and landed right here on this little branch. Then it would fly down to the ground, and then it went back up to the branch. So we are going to set up a camera right here to see what it is using to build its nest.
And before long, along came the phoebe, looking for just the right piece of moss to add to their nest. Obviously, building a nest takes many, many trips. Okay, now it's just showing off. It is truly incredible to see this process from start to finish. It took them 5 days, working from dawn to dusk to make hundreds of trips to collect all the supplies necessary to complete the nest, but at last it was completed. We're gonna go up to reposition our camera in order to see inside the nest. Now that the birds are done building their nest, they're gonna start laying their eggs soon. We don't wanna miss it. There one is right now. Donald's gonna do the task of mounting the camera and the mirror.
All right, so we have our mirror in place, and now we will be mounting this camera right here so that we can see the mirror into our nest.
So here's what the new camera angle looks like. You can see they're making the finishing touches on their nest, just getting ready for the eggs. And we were happy to find a few days later, not 1, not 2, but 3 eggs were in their nest. Last year in 2020, the first egg was laid on April 5th. This year, it was laid on April 4th. So we continue to be surprised by the consistency of these phoebes. The next day, there were 4 eggs in the nest. And the day after that, there were 5. Now, the only thing left to do was to sit and incubate the eggs, which, let's face it, is not the most exciting process, so we won't share too much of that. Exactly 16 days later, on April 26th, 5 little chicks hatched, and these 2 Phoebe parents had their hands full. Feeding a growing family can be a challenge, but thankfully, phoebes are excellent aerial predators. You'll often see them zooming over fields in search for insects. Both parents will go collect food and bring it back to the nest to feed the young. Here they are at 15 days old, May 11th. It's surprising how quickly they grow. But all good things must come to an end. On May 14th, at 18 days old, these birds ran out of room and left their nest. Now they too are out on their own, surviving in the wide world, ready to do this process all over again next year. Well, that about wraps it up. You may have noticed from the footage that we actually got it from 2 separate years. We got some from this year and some from last year.
We have our phoebes up there right now, getting ready to lay their eggs for our next generation.
They're back every year, so we get to see them over and over again. I'd say my favorite part about this whole episode was watching them build their nests and all of the attention to detail, all of the work that goes into making it.
My favorite part was after studying them and watching them for so long, their song just stands out of the crowd and you can pick it out of all the other birds.
Based on what we've seen here, it looks like we have many more years of Phoebe fun ahead here at Little Creek.